The third thing mentioned in the UPSC notification is that you are expected to arrange your ideas in an orderly fashion. This is all about your reader and the experience that your reader is having. Your reader should find it easy to read. It should be as if you're moving from one part of the essay to the next in some sequence. Remember the judge, you want him to have an easy time while reading your essay. And you can do this by something called flow and structure. And just to illustrate that, imagine that you're on an island and you have to build a hut. What is the first thing that you'll do? You will find some pieces of wood and you will give it a solid skeleton. This skeleton represents the structure of the essay. And just like in the hut, you use pieces of wood, you will divide your essay into three parts: the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. The introduction is where you will introduce the topic and let the examiner know that you have understood the crux of the matter. The body is that part of the essay which will contain all your main arguments and examples. Remember that there are two sides to an argument and you should cover both. The conclusion is where you will emphasize your side of the argument one last time before signing off. And we will talk about these in a lot of detail in the coming videos. But for now, understand that what flow means is that your essay should connect from one part to the next in some kind of a logical manner. When you move from the introduction to the main part or from the body to the conclusion, it should seem like it is all connected, like you see in this example. If you look to the left, you can see that the essay is divided into parts. This is what I mean by the structure. These parts connect to each other. The points in the parts also connect with each other. This unbroken chain of logical reasoning is called flow. Now, flow and structure are inbuilt in the techniques and the exercises of this course in the essay generation algorithm or the SLGO technique, which you will learn in upcoming modules. You will learn a very powerful technique which will ensure that the flow and structure in your essays and answers will remain unbroken. Once you've learned this, you will be able to use it to write any essay. Not only will it be useful in the essay paper, I have used it tons of times in answer writing of other papers as well, and it has never disappointed me. I always used to uh, get a really good score in the mains exam because I loved this writing process and I had to break it down into simpler elements and get very good at summarizing and meeting all these requirements which the UPSC exam um, forces you to face. And in the process, I came up with these ideas and these techniques which I've used extensively, which I have tried to inculcate in this course, which I am hoping that um, you will be able to pick up on and use them to really boost your score. Now, the fourth thing which is mentioned in the UPSC notification is that you should not use unnecessary words and sentences. Writing concisely means that you should avoid repetition. It also means that you should not try to spread out your essay by repeating the same points or by extending a single point by using more words to fill the space and to meet a respectable word limit. So, how many words do you need for one essay to achieve conciseness? If the essay is 1,000 words long and the introduction and the conclusion they take up 30% of your words, then you're left with about 700 words to build the body of your essay. And basically, all this calculation leads to the fact that you need about 12 to 14 points to write a 1,000 word essay, which is written concisely. Needless to say, in order to do this, you will have to begin. You will have to have your points ready before you begin writing. And again, there is no need to worry because the essay generation algorithm is in the upcoming modules will take care of this, and you will never run into a problem like this. You will always have more than enough points, and you will have the sequence of those points ready in front of you while you're writing your essay exams. The last thing that's mentioned in the UPSC notification is exact and effective expression. Did you notice that I've not mentioned anything about you having to remember facts and data or having to use flowery language and elaborate language? This is because it's not needed. The UPSC wants your language to be straight and effective. Simplicity is the key, and it will fetch you marks. And here's an example to illustrate that. This is Ralph Waldo Emerson, who wrote a very famous series of essays, which are called Self-Reliance. Self-Reliance is one of the essays. I am reading out a passage from uh, Self-Reliance, and trying hard not to sleep while I read this out. It says, "These are the voices which we hear in solitude, but they grow faint and inaudible as we enter into the world. Society everywhere is a conspiracy against the manhood of every one of its members. Society is a joint stock company in which the members agree for the better securing of his breed. To each shareholder to surrender the liberty and culture of the eater. The virtue in most request is conformity. Self-reliance is its aversion. It loves not realities and creators, but names and customs." Now, that is exactly what you must not do in the UPSC exam. That is an example of the opposite of conciseness. It was not simple to read, it was difficult to understand. Emerson was using a lot of metaphors and analogies. That was probably a good way to write in the 19th century in 1841, but not now, and certainly not in this exam. Your answers and your essays should be simple, crisp, and to the point. What was Emerson trying to say? What would be the simplified version of it? In all those jumbles of words and long sentences, the only point that Emerson was trying to make can be said in the following words: Society forces its members into conformity, and we should try to maintain our independent thinking despite this pressure. This is all that he was trying to say. So, to recap, you have to please this judge to get out of jail. He does not like emotional appeal or repetition or disorder. He does not like digression or complicated language. So your essay answers should have logic, concrete examples, short, crisp arguments, and simple language. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.